Hey everyone. I am running late. I'm sorry. Let me get onto Instagram here. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I don't think I got my title on the Instagram live today. It's been one of those mornings, man. It is Friday and it's just stuff's just going on. What can I say? But I did make it here live. Sorry, I'm a minute late, everyone. But if you could let me know that you're out there. I always appreciate that. Let me know that you're here. You can hear me. My tech is all working well because I have some awesome stuff to talk about today and I don't want you to miss it. So that means we have to let me know that you can hear me. Can you hear me over there? All right. I got some hearts on Instagram. I love it. How about you guys over there on Facebook and YouTube? I have anyone out there yet? If I do, please say a hello. So nice to see some of you returning this Friday morning. Thanks, Naya. How you doing? Awesome. So I want to talk about something a little controversial. Is that okay? Are we cool with that? And I don't know how controversial it is with my database. I mean, you guys are all pretty darn awesome and, pretty aware of different things, but I find it interesting. And maybe I'm I don't know. I get passionate. What can I say? I mean, there's been months and months and months. People have asked me, Dr. P, what do you think of semaglutide? Hey, Dr. P, what do you think of Ozempic? Hey, Dr. P, what do you think of Wegovy? Right? And this was back a year ago, 2 years ago. And I kept saying, look, I just don't see how this is going to work because it's going to impact your insulin levels. And to me, it's going to start retaining weight over time. And it's going to have an impact on development of diabetes and weight gain in the future. And I'm afraid that if you take it, you're going to lose the weight and it's going to come right back. And everyone said, oh, Dr. Pingle, you're being silly. We need this. We need this. And I said, well, it's one thing if we're talking about someone who's morbidly obese that has a lot of health issues. Sometimes medications like this can be life-changing, no question. But when we're talking about it in the general community in Hollywood and people trying to lose 10 to 20 pounds, whatever, there's a lot of things to consider before using this medication, right? And so I was saying I was a little concerned about it, but then I kind of kept my mouth shut for a while. And this morning, I'm sitting on the news reading, prepping for this little live Q&A, and the conversation is, what do we do about this plateau of weight loss with Wegovy and semaglutide? And you go on to read the article and they're like, well, it seems that people are losing weight and then it's just plateauing and they can't come off of it. And what are we going to do about it? And I was like, oh my God. Okay, here's the deal. If I told you to fast and not eat like hardly anything for 3 months, do you think that would be healthy? Like, let's be real. And I'll be real with you. I grew up in the modeling industry. I grew up where we didn't eat. We didn't eat to stay skinny. And I'll tell you what, we lost a lot of nutrition, had a lot of health problems, right? Because we weren't nourished. So anything that blocks your ability to eat, and once again, I'm talking about general public, okay? I'm not saying there aren't benefits, or sometimes you have to weigh the risks with somebody who's morbidly obese and serious medical conditions, but we're talking about bringing this into the masses, which is where it's been, right? You're putting your body in jeopardy because one, it's blocking your appetite. So you're not eating. If you're not eating, you don't have any nutrition. If you don't have any nutrition, the body's stressed out. Hello, adrenal fatigue. Whoop. If you didn't have it already, you have it now. Now let's look at the next layer of that. If you're not eating and you have cortisol stimulation, right, you're going to lose weight right away. And then the body's going to say, oh my God, I have no fuel. I have no nutrition. I have no backup muscle, right? Because by the way, what you're losing, guys, is muscle and water. It's not fat. Am I clear on that? It's not fat. And this is coming from when I was younger, I was a skinny fat girl. Okay. I was skinny because I was modeling. I had literally nothing on me, but what I had was fat. I wasn't muscular by any means whatsoever, right? I was just a toothpick, right? So you're losing this weight, you're not giving nutrition, right? And that's going to cause the insulin to start to go up. So we're starting to form insulin resistance. And when we have insulin resistance, the body starts storing fat. It stops the loss of weight loss. I don't know how to relay this any better to anyone other than to just say, when your body is under stress, you will gain weight. Chronic stress causes deposition of fat around the abdomen. Medical fact. Chronic stress causes deposition of fat around the abdomen. Why? Because it's trying to save our life, because we're running from a bear and we don't have any energy. And fat gives us 9 kilocalories per mole. It's one of the best energy sources that we have. So when your body is in stress, it wants fat. It needs fat. It has to run from fat. So if you're taking a drug that's blocking your appetite, putting your body into stress, ultimately it will plateau. And I'm talking about, what was the question? I'm talking about semaglutide injections, Ozempic, Wegovy, and why they're seeing plateaus and why these are not the right solution, in my opinion, to standard community. Sorry, I'm just changing my seat there. Got to be a little bit on the cuff. Okay. So when they're starting to come out and saying, what's going on with this plateau? People are losing like 20 pounds and then they stop. Yeah. Right. And here's the other thing for the doctors out, a lot of the doctors out there using these drugs, they're not checking insulin. They're not looking at that. Right. They're not monitoring that. They're not monitoring liver enzymes. And I've seen this firsthand and it drives me insane, because if that is changing, the person on the injection is at risk for diabetes, further weight gain, right? Which then causes all sorts of mental and self-worth decline, which isn't worth it, because you are all beautiful. So when we start beating ourselves up over how we look, right? It's great to lose that weight, but what if it comes back and you have an extra 10 on top of that, right? How does that affect your mental health, right? So here's the thing, guys. Try some other methods first, right? Take a look at your insulin levels. Really, really hone in on the diet. Be honest with yourself. Are you giving yourself nutritious food? Are you exercising to keep the mind calm and the body strong, right? Are you managing stress? I had a little conversation this morning. I have my concierge medical clients. We have a little WhatsApp group and it's so much fun. It's a community, and it's for us to just kind of work stuff out, because we all have bad days and maybe we need some inspiration from somebody else. And so we kind of all come in and we chat and we support each other. And I love it, right? I absolutely love it. And today I had to vent because I said, oh my gosh, I am overloaded, man. I have had a week. It's just been a week of a lot of tasks between personal and business and and I'm tired. I'm a little tired. Dr. Pingle's a little tired, and that's rare. It is. It's rare. But, there's just, stuff going on and, there's a lot going on and it's cool. But even the adrenal fatigue doctor has trouble managing stress at times. I would never expect that you guys would know exactly how to do it. So quit beating yourself up about it and just make every single attempt that you can. You are so worth it. I think we get very focused on the little things. And of course, the vanity things are first. And then we have all this media information about how so-and-so changed their life by taking this and blah, blah, blah. There's so many factors involved here, right? I have had so many women lose weight by simply addressing their adrenal fatigue. In fact, one of the number one things that people get out of my group program, the Total Energy Turnaround, is they lose weight. And let's just forget about that stat. They sleep better. They have better energy. They have more joy. They understand what's going on. They can recognize when their body goes into that fight or flight, and they can shut it down. And that is so important, because guess what, guys? The stress isn't going anywhere. The media is insane. I mean, you're going to get pieces of information of everything all over the place. Like stress, external stress doesn't leave, but what you do about it is all 100% in your control. And I want all of you to walk away from any of these interactions that we have and understand that, one, you are absolutely beautiful. Where you are right now, you are a beautiful, wonderful soul that has so much to offer. So quit beating yourself up. Number two, you actually have the control to change this 100%. You just need the tools, right? So tools are easy. I can provide tools. That's easy, right? We provide tools and hold you accountable and help you. Yeah. And once you get those tools, ironically, the little things that you worried about will actually balance themselves out without a ton of effort. I think we always think we have to work so hard to be healthy. We really don't. We just have to learn how to listen to our body, how to utilize the tools, and not fall victim to what everyone else is telling us we have to do. Does that resonate with any of you? Yes, no? Good talk, bad talk? Is it a topic you guys have wondered about? I do want to add too, before I jump into the questions, I see questions coming through. So thanks, guys. I'm ready. I do want to add real quick because I had an overwhelming response to a reel that I posted last week on constipation and about how it's normal to just not go to the bathroom, which is ridiculous. And I have a long story on this in my own personal history, which I may share next week. We might do a more focused talk about constipation, but I just want to say so many of you have written me notes, and I haven't gotten back to all of you yet. I'm working on it. And the reason I'm taking my time is that I'm trying to put something together for you because you shouldn't have to suffer with constipation. So I have, if you go to my link in bio, I already have a supplement bundle up there. I think I called it the Get Pooping Bundle. I do also have some other resources coming as well. But with this crazy week, just trying to do it all and get it all done at the level that I feel it should be done. I'm not quite there yet, but I will start also responding. My team and I will work to respond to all of you that commented on that reel with some resources. Give us a couple more days if you don't mind. But if you want to buy, if you're looking for a high quality magnesium and a high quality vitamin C to help get a jump start on the constipation, I've paired it with my Total Probiotic, which is freaking amazing. A lot of you out there take it and you tell me, I love it. I love it. So I put a supplement bundle together called the Get Pooping Bundle. It is in my link in bio. So if you go to my profile, you click on the link and you scroll down, you will see a button that says Get Pooping Bundle. Go there. If you're looking for a resource, there's more information coming down the pipeline. And anyone who purchases it, I will give you some sort of guide with it. It's just not quite done. So, hey, we're not perfect. Sometimes it takes me a minute to pull something together that I feel is valuable for you. So I really, really hope that helps. So for any of you that have reached out, you're looking for help with that, check out that Get Pooping Bundle, and we'll have more of a conversation about this perhaps next week. I think it would be great to really dive into constipation and digestion. Would you guys like that? Thumbs up? Stars? Yes, we'd like that. I would love to see some feedback on that and whether that would be something you feel would be useful to you, because I'd love to do a more focused thing on constipation because it's obviously something going on, right? And I have a very strong personal history in it. I have a lot of soapboxes to get up on about the way it's treated in conventional, and it's just needs more time than I have today. So I'm going to put it next week. Live, laugh, love. You want me to put it on the topic for next week? Okay. Any of you that want to talk more about pooping, show up. Let's show up next week, Friday, as scheduled. Okay. And we'll open with it and we'll bring those questions in and we'll talk more about it. And hopefully I'll have even more resources available for you at that time. Is the pooping bundle at Total Health Apothecary? It is, but it's not on the main site yet. We're having some tech issues there. So if you go to my link in bio, I have a direct link to purchase it. And you can go back and buy other things with it, but for some reason, it's not showing up on the main page. And that was a big issue I had last night. And I just thought, oh man, like, really? Which is what the delay is. But I did put a direct link to it, okay, on my link in bio. It's in a button, an orange button. Okay, if you guys can't find it, let me know. Okay, cool. All right, I see questions coming through, and I want to make sure that all of you get your questions. I would love to answer them. Let me scroll back. Naya said, unfortunately, people would rather have the quick fix than do it the healthy way, which is unfortunate because they would feel better doing it slow and the healthy way. Yeah, I think, you get desperate, and I get it. And there's no judgment in that. It's just, I do always encourage people to say, what are my immediate goals? What are my long-term goals? Because I don't think, and this may sound harsh, and I don't mean it to be harsh. It's more of a pay attention here. Your 30-day goal, 90-day goal is to lose 20 pounds, but is your 5-year goal to get diabetes type 2? Probably not, right? So it accomplishes the short-term goal, absolutely does not accomplish the long-term goal, right? We don't want to hit diabetes type 2. So if these medications are causing that, and we're seeing that, and we're seeing changes in insulin, we're seeing plateaued in weight, and we're seeing more fat deposition after use of it, that's where it's headed. So I always encourage all of you when you incorporate any lifestyle thing to look at what's the immediate goal, what's the long-term goal, right? The long-term goal is what we need to focus on. Okay. And sometimes the short-term goal may take a little bit longer, but ultimately it will last forever. Right. And that's really what we're looking for. And muscle mass is really important, by the way, guys. I think we underestimate how important that is. As we get older, we need more muscle. So you can lose weight, you can lose water, you can lose muscle easily and lose 10 pounds. But long term, you end up with osteoporosis, right? So we need to look at, we're not the same as we were when we were 20. Okay, we're just not. And you know what? I'm personally thankful for that. I think I'm way better now than I was when I was 20. But we seem to think that that's what we can get away with. We can't. We have to look at the long term at this point. Our lives are, they only go so long. I lost my dad at 59. I'm almost 50. That scares the crap out of me. What if I go when I'm 59? That's not very long from now, right? So really looking at longevity is really important to me, right? And healthgevity. Hi, Richard. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Question about the thyroid. What can a thyroid ultrasound tell me? It basically looks, are there nodules, right? Is there growth? What's the size of the thyroid? What's the size of the little isthmus between them? Are they equal on both sides? It basically just looks at structure. You can see nodules, but you can't really see if they're benign or cancerous really, unless you do some sort of uptake. Most of them are benign, just so you know, but that's pretty much what it tells you. You can also tell a lot of the size by just feeling it, though. And I can often feel nodules. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Kirk. Good morning, Sandra. I'll come right back to you, Sandra. I'm trying to get on both platforms here, okay? All right. Let's see. All right, Instagram. Wow, you guys are on fire, man. Okay, let me see what we got. Nourishment is my passion. Great. Okay. Melissa. Hello, Dr. Pingle. Hi. I asked my gyne doctor for hormonal testing to check for perimenopause and estrogen dominance. She only ordered estradiol, LH, and FHH and said I'm not perimenopausal. Oh, really? Okay. I wonder what test she would order on herself if she had the same symptoms as you. Just a thought. Would she give herself the same answer? Here's what you need. If you have perimenopausal symptoms, this is not just about the sex hormones, number one. This is about adrenal function. This is about thyroid function. This is about blood sugar management. This is about sex hormones, more than that. And this is about nutrition, digestion, right? Are we getting the nutrients that we need in order to have proper hormone metabolism? That would be a really important thing, right? I find more often than not that perimenopause is adrenal fatigue. Now, could there be imbalances in the hormones? Of course. Why? Because cortisol and progesterone are friends. So they like to give each other stuff. So if you're under stress, cortisol will pull from progesterone and progesterone levels will drop. And that will cause perimenopausal symptoms. But is it the progesterone that's the problem? Or is it the cortisol pulling from the progesterone? This, by the way, is a whole segment in my upcoming program. We talk about hormones. We talk about how stress impacts the hormones. We talk about what to do about it. We talk what labs to test, right? This is also in my book. This is something I love to talk about, right? Love it, love it, love it. If you want to look at the program, guys, there's a wait list. The wait list people are about to get a really juicy offer on Tuesday or Wednesday. So you go to on my link in bio, you can click on Total Energy Turnaround and add yourself to the wait list. If you're on the wait list, you get first dibs. You also get first dibs at a really freaking awesome bonus. Just wait list people, hang in there. You're the first we're reaching out to. So, and you will get the first opportunity to take this bonus. And there are only 10 of them. So, just FYI, if you want to be on that list, get over there and get on the call, get on the wait list. But it's really important to look at adrenals. So when you're doing labs, the hormones, by the way, this is going to be a fast list. You know, it's going to be easier. If you type on any of my threads, you can't do it while I'm live. So go to any of my threads or this thread after when it's posted, type the word labs. and it'll send you a DM to my lab list. And in that lab list is everything I run to evaluate for perimenopause, not just the hormone section. I run everything. Why? I want to know, what are your blood counts? What's your blood sugar? What's your inflammation level? What are your adrenal markers? What are your thyroid markers? What are your hormone markers, right? What's your vitamin D? Right? Do we see problems in the pathway that could be causing stress on the body that's pulling from progesterone that's causing these symptoms? Does that make sense? So labs is the key word for my little bot to send you a lab list. Okay, did that make sense? Could I get some hearts or thumbs up if that was good? I can't see comments that further down yet. So send me some love some other way if you can on Instagram so I know you're tracking with me, okay? Sandra, when this post is over, go to the comment section and just type the word labs and it will send you a message. It doesn't work while we're live. You can try it. I don't think it works while we're live. Maybe it does. I don't know. It might. Could I see estrogen dominance from these tests she ordered? What would I look for? I know stress doesn't help estrogen. Stress causes estrogen dominance. You're saying it doesn't help it. You're right, but it actually can cause it. And no, it would not see estrogen dominance. Depending on, first of all, you would have to know what the progesterone level is 1 week before your cycle. You would have to measure a progesterone against the estrogens in the 3rd week of your cycle. Otherwise, I can't tell you whether you have estrogen dominance, because the week before that, everyone has estrogen dominance because you're ovulating, and everyone has no progesterone because we don't have progesterone in ovulation. So there's a certain time in the cycle that these have to be drawn, and it is in the 3rd week of the cycle. That is incredibly important. If you have a longer cycle, it falls about 7 to 10 days before you're going to bleed, okay? And you need to have an estrone level. They didn't run estrone. So you have to run estrone, estradiol, progesterone, total and free testosterone, along with all the other things at the 3rd week, about a week before your period, to be even say if you have estrogen dominance clinically, in my opinion. Great question. Westy Weave. So I have roller coaster cortisol. Oh, cool. Welcome to stage 2. I think I always live in stage 2. I try to pull myself into stage 1 as often as possible. It wakes me at night, but I do not get out of bed. I do fall back asleep pretty quickly. Do you have suggestions? Yeah, that's good that you fall back asleep. If you don't start taking care of it now, it will get worse and you won't fall back asleep. Like, I can tell you that right now. Okay. So I'm glad you fall back asleep. Some of the things to look at would be like, in my total stress support has a blend of phosphatidylserine, L-theanine, ashwagandha. There's some herbs and some amino acids in there that help blunt cortisol response at night. I have a chapter in my book on this, also covered in the program. We go into sleep in pretty detail. There are a lot of things you can do to try to reset that rhythm. I would definitely focus on getting that rhythm back in control. Okay. Because if not, it will start keeping you up at night. Okay. I actually, because I've had such a busy week, it's interesting how when I was younger, I probably didn't notice this, but I've had such a busy week that I woke up last night at 3 a.m. on the nose, ding, and I did not go back to sleep till 5 a.m. I haven't had that happen to me since med school. And I remember laying there and I'm like, and I kept thinking, I have to get that constipation thing done for my live. I got to have this thing ready for these people. I got to offer them something. I haven't got it done. What time should I get up to do it? It was all work, all of it. And I knew it. And that's why when I woke up this morning, I'm saying to all of you, sorry, man, I don't have it all ready, but I have a lot of it ready. So you can get what you want, and I will owe you that. I will either email it to you directly when you buy the bundle, or we'll figure out another way to get it to you, but we will get it to you. But those are the things that keep you up. Now, that happens independently. Sometimes, you just have a busy week, but that shouldn't be happening all the time, right? But that is what cortisol keeping you up will do. Anyone else get that? Yes, please help. I am just now getting 6.5 to 7 hours a night, working toward 8 hours. Good. My cortisol test showed high morning, normal noon, low at 5, and high at 10 p.m. Exactly. What I just talked about is exactly what you need to be looking at, right? Is when the cortisol rhythm goes back up at night, you have to blunt that. And there are amino acids and herbs that do that. My total stress support's a great start if you're not already on it. Yeah. That's at Total Health Apothecary. I don't think I have one out here right now. I don't. Yes, please. Okay. Hi, everyone who joined. Look at you. Just as a follow-up question for the estrogen dominance. Okay, and then I'll pop back over to Facebook for some questions, okay? Just noticed my test results show estradiol at 186.5. It was 1 week before my period, so I think I was in luteal phase, which has a range to 50 to 150. Right, but you have to look at the balance of that against estrone and perimenopause. This isn't an outright number thing, okay? Hormones are an art. They move. They move. They're supposed to. They adapt. That's great. But so you have to look at it in balance. So they didn't give you anything to balance it against. So the number is kind of irrelevant, right? If your progesterone's at 15 and your estradiol's at 186 and your estrogen's at 50, you're good, right? But we don't know, right? There wasn't enough information there, if that makes sense. Okay. You're worried about the time change with the sleep. Yeah. Not too serious. I'm too serious? All right, Sandra. Hi, wondering, do you know of any natural remedies or medicine that is helpful for low libido and brain fog? Yes, treating adrenal fatigue. Check out my program. It starts April 1st. Seriously, guys, let me help you. There's live Q&As like this, private within the group. I'll do hot seats. I'll talk to you. We'll figure it out. Join it. Like, seriously, like, all of you guys are asking questions that I can so help you with. Like, and it's all the same answer. So let's do it. Check out thetotalenergyturnaround.com or go to my link in bio and add yourself to the wait list so you can get this special offer. But yeah, it's looking at adrenal fatigue. Think about it this way, Sandra. If you're in the woods and you're running from a bear, you're not going to remember what color flowers you ran by. You're not even really going to remember where you ran, right? And I'm guilty of this. When I used to drive to the office every day and see patients, I used to do 10 hours of patients a day. It was way too much. And I would drive home and I wouldn't remember I would just show up at home and I couldn't remember the drive. Anyone else? That scares the crap out of me. Or walk into the kitchen and be like, wait a minute, why am I here? Right? Because your mind is so busy focused on the bear, it doesn't notice things. That is brain fog, right? So often we think our brain is understimulated and that's why we have brain fog. And you're absolutely incorrect. It is overstimulated and we need to chill. We need to address our adrenal function. Cortisol will give us brain fog. Cortisol will give us low libido. Why? I don't know about you, but when I'm running from a bear, I'm not going to stop and have sex, right? I don't have time. I'm going to die if I do. So like my body's going to choose to run. Does that make sense? That's where that comes from. Okay. All right. Andrieka, did I say that right? I feel so exhausted today that I did what I had to do. And now I relax and listen to my body and to Dr. Pingle. Oh, thanks. Thanks for being here. Steve, where you been? Nice to see you. Reach out. I seriously regret staying on intermittent fasting as long as I did. Some people do really well on it, but for me, it did more harm than good. Yeah, people with adrenal fatigue should not intermittent fast. I'm not saying that intermittent fasting doesn't have uses. And let me also clarify. We should be intermittent fasting in some respects anyway, right? Because if you eat dinner at 6 o'clock and you don't eat breakfast till 7 a.m., that's 12 hours. I mean, you're still intermittent fasting. What you're talking about is longer intermittent fast, right? We all intermittent fast healthily because we're sleeping or we're supposed to be sleeping, right? I do encourage people not to eat past 6 p.m., 7 p.m. at the absolute latest, just because that way you can fast while you sleep. So I do want to say, like, don't think you're not fasting by doing that. You are in some respects, okay? But when you lengthen that to like the 16-8 or whatever that people are doing, it can be very helpful in some medical conditions for short periods of time. But if you have adrenal fatigue with that, your body will think it's starving. We go back to the conversation we had earlier about semaglutide, and it causes a problem. And so you have to address the adrenal fatigue first. You have to be addressing that. Most therapies and quick fixes and fads and whatever will not work if your body is under stress. It will not. And I hate to be blunt like that, but it won't. So if you're trying all these things and you're like, man, Dr. Pingle, nothing works. Nothing works. Can't lose weight. Can't get sleep. Nothing works. You're missing the adrenal portion 100% of the time. Okay. Do you guys hear me? Is it going in? It's important. And Steve, don't dwell on what you've done. Look at now. Okay. Mindset shift. Oh, I wish I wouldn't. I probably did more harm than good. No, look, what happens. You are where you are because you're meant to be there. What happens next is up to you. So it happened, whatever, big deal. You did it. Wasn't great for you. So be it. Move on. It's fine. You're good. Like take new choices, make new choices and move forward. Like don't dwell on that. Okay. Nobody knows if what they did was harmful or not. I feel like with raising children, I think I'm doing the right thing, but I really won't know. Right. I guess until they're grown up, I won't know. Did I make the right choice when I punished them or not? I don't know. Did I make the right choice when I intermittent fasted for a few months? I don't know. But it's not working for you. So do something different. Right. Does that make sense? So don't dwell over that, hun. Just don't. It's not worth the energy drain. Do you hear me? I want to acknowledge it from you that you hear me on that. I know you. Let's do it, says Moose Lodge. I love it. What are your thoughts about homes near 5G towers and big power lines? Choose otherwise. It doesn't matter. What is safe? I don't think it matters where you go anymore. You are going to be exposed to 5G. Unless you move to Mars. But by all means, you probably are exposed to it there. These are the things that we can't control necessarily. Now, there are grounding mats. You can, keep things further away from you rather than closer to you. There's little lifestyle changes you can make, but it's not like we can avoid it. The farther you're away from towers, the better. But there's towers everywhere now. I don't even if you find a house that doesn't have a tower near it, I guarantee you one's going to go in the next few months, right? So I think these are the things we have to think about is if we don't have control over some of the external toxins and external stressors in our environment, how do we handle the stuff we do have control over? Because there's a lot of stuff that we stress out about that we really don't need to stress out about. Would you guys agree? I mean, I should not have been up last night worrying about getting a PDF to you guys. You know what? It's okay. Do what you got to do, right? You do your best, you do what you can, but do you know what I mean? So I think you can only do so much. We are exposed. I'm sitting here on a cell phone and a computer with a light, right? I've got, wireless printers and wireless routers. I'm surrounded by it, right? What I can do is I can control the nutrition in my body. I can control how often I'm sitting in front of these types of things. I can stay off my phone and not scroll, right? And be triggered by all sorts of stuff. There's things I can control, which lowers the overall toxic and stress burden. And that's really what you have to look at, right? If you try to eliminate everything, you're going to stress yourself from elimination, right? We got to live our lives as well, right? Good, Steve. Steve says, thanks for the encouragement. Good. Okay. How concerned about hormones at 74? Well, you'd be concerned about blood sugar hormones. You'd be concerned about thyroid hormones. You'd be concerned about adrenal hormones. Sex hormones, if you've already gone through menopause and they're low and you don't have any symptoms from that, that may be okay. It depends on what you're doing in your life, right? I have plenty of women who don't do hormone replacement and they live energetically. They exercise every day. They have a fantastic life. I have others that have so many symptoms when they're not on it, usually because the adrenals are not in check, that they need hormones to balance them out. So I think it comes down to what you need. But you should be concerned with the other hormones, right? And keeping a good solid diet and exercise and lifestyle going, because those could cause problems, right? Cancer development. That's where you start to worry, when did the most of the breast cancers start? It's not while women are on estrogen, it's often after. So those are things I start looking at that point. Is really are you doing weight-bearing exercise? Are you, doing things you enjoy? You're blessed with this beautiful life, 74 years, which is awesome. And I want you to be mobile and happy, right? How long can we be on HRT? Depends. I mean, that's a hard question to answer. Everyone's different. Um, I like to use the lowest effective dose of everything. So the lowest effective dose for as minimal amount of time until we get the body to take over. Now, with HRT or BHRT, I don't use traditional HRT. I never do. I don't think a synthetic hormone is going to do your body any good. So I use bioidentical only, but it's a very much an art on how much to use, when to use, and how long to use. And every patient's completely different. Most of my patients try to start weaning in their 60s or 70s. Sometimes it goes flawlessly and sometimes it doesn't, you know. But if the levels are being checked in full, okay, meaning you're actually getting lab work, you actually have somebody checking the whole picture and watching things move around, it's safe to stay on them. It's just an issue of having a doctor who's really monitoring it. And I find what happens is a lot of the times they don't. It's like once a year you get an FSH, LH, and estradiol, and it's like, okay, take care. And that's just not enough. It's just not. You need to see if those hormones are impacting other hormone pathways as well, especially inflammation. With you on that, Foggy, I am learning to meditate and breathe 3 times a day. Yeah, how many of you breathe? I've been talking for a long time and I haven't taken many breaths, have I? And water. Right? Okay, I have a couple more minutes and then I got to bail. So, it's done. Move forward. Slow pace is better than no pace. I agree. I really need to work on mindset. Tara, join my program. Let's work on mindset together. I spend a large majority of my time working with my patients and with the group program on mindset because you can't accomplish a goal if you don't know the goal, right? So you have to set your mind on your goal. And when you pick the goal and you know what you're trying to accomplish, everything falls into line. It makes sense. But when we're just arbitrarily just running through life and we're not looking at how are we going to get there? How are we going to pick our goal? We're going to have trouble getting there, right? So what we do in my programs is we pick a goal and we figure it out, right? And you see that other people struggle with the same thing you do, and then it doesn't become as scary, right? Let me help you. Being present is more important than being a superwoman. I learned to put myself and health in priority. Yeah, and what's funny, when you do prioritize yourself, you feel like superwoman. Like ironically, right? So you go from superwoman, totally like depleting your adrenals, to supporting your adrenals and then feeling like superwoman without the hassle. It's freaking amazing cycle of life right there. Yeah, it feels good. Does high cortisol make you not hungry then? Acutely. When it's just like one bear, like let's say you have a death in the family and you're just really distraught by it, and yeah, you won't eat, right? But what happens if that's stayed for a long period of time is the body adapts. It starts to freak out. It starts to say, oh my God, she hasn't eaten. We need to do something about this. So it tries to store fat. So it has you reach for that carbohydrate, that potato chip, that candy, the stuff that you know you shouldn't eat, and shove it in inopportune times. And you'll know this because you'll be so hungry you don't have time to meal prep. Anyone else? So hungry and you just don't have time to meal prep. We'll just order out. Anyone? I did that on Thursday. Not proud of it. Now, granted, I ordered from Flower Child. I tried to pick something good and organic and healthy, but I was not happy with myself that I didn't have that time to cook for my family because I was so busy that I was like, oh my God, like I just got to get food. I mean, I was at a track meet till like 8:00 at night. I was like, I usually don't eat past 6. So look, those times happen. But if you don't nourish the body on a regular basis, the body will reach for a carbohydrate. And when it reaches for that carbohydrate or that junk food, that now has an impact on your metabolic health. You keep doing that, becomes a problem, right? Oh, I got a lot of hearts on that one. Oh, thank you. Minimalist on most supplements, moderation. Right, I agree. What is the link to the program? I think I'm already on the wait list. You can go ahead and sign up again. If you're already there, you'll be on there twice. If you just go to my link in bio and click on, there's a logo that says the Total Energy Turnaround Program. Just click on that and add yourself to the wait list. And if you're already on the wait list, we'll talk to you next week. I have a great bonus. I mean, seriously, guys, like it's like a $500 deal. Okay, I can't say that much. Okay, I only have 10. So if you want that bonus with me, go get on the wait list and respond. I'm going to have my team start reaching out to only the people on the wait list next week for first dibs. Okay? So, now if you're a concierge client of mine, that doesn't apply to you. You don't get to win it. So if you're on the wait list, you're going to hear from me another way. Okay? Yep, makes sense. I'm noticing that. Thank you. Yeah. All right. I'm about out of time. Let me see if I missed anything else. What is good for high cortisol levels? Well, same thing, Perry. I mean, we're talking about suppressing them at the right time. We want higher cortisol levels at some time though, right? Like we want to wake up, we want to get up, we want to eat our breakfast, and we want to have energy, right? Cortisol is our friend when it's in balance. And I think the biggest mistake is when people hear adrenal fatigue, they think they're either bottomed out or it's always high. Very rarely do I see that. I usually see it going like this. Adrenal dysfunction is what I like to call it. So it comes down to knowing what's the rhythm, how is it impacting the other areas of the body, and then going in and supporting. Okay. What's a good breakfast if you're allergic to eggs? Oh my gosh, so many. So many. I do a gluten-free oatmeal and I add a vegan protein powder to it. I actually add Planet Protein. That's my favorite vegan protein. If you guys want to try it, I think it's planetprotein.com. And if you put in the code PINGLE20, you get a discount. Make sure you spell my name right, PINGLE20. It's great. I love the vanilla. I add it to that. I add berries and nuts and fruit. I also have an awesome quinoa porridge recipe. I know it's in my program. I think I put that one on the website too, so you can check that out. This morning I did cashew yogurt with a homemade granola. I mean, there's so many different breakfasts. Eggs don't have to be in the equation. Like it's fine. Number one tip for constipation, magnesium. Number one. And if you missed the beginning, I put a little Get Pooping bundle on my link in bio so you guys could see the supplements that I recommend. And I have more stuff forthcoming. We're going to talk about poop next week. That is going to be our opener. So if you want to hear about it, you have questions about that, you're dying to hear about that, be here next week on time, which is 9:15 Mountain Time. So 8:15 Pacific, which is 11:15, I think, Eastern. Other than magnesium, you have to combine it with vitamin C and water and stress reduction. Jumping. Savory breakfast. Usually it's because it doesn't have enough protein. So if you ever notice, if you eat oatmeal by itself, you'll be hungry an hour later. If you eat oatmeal and you add protein to it, you won't. But there's tons of things you could do other than eggs. I mean, there's so many things you could do. I mean, and quinoa is a high protein grain. That's why that's a great one as well, right? I understand the yogurt and granola type thing, and I actually add protein powder to my cashew yogurt. But that one I do get hungrier with faster. Okay? Happy weekend, happy pooping. I love it. I love it. I love it. Scrambled tofu was a recommendation. Yeah, that's always a good one. And also, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into constipation, and we'll talk about those. Okay. We'll do a thing on that. Okay. Thank you for today. See you next week. Yes. You guys need anything, go to my link in bio. Everything is there. So if you need to find it, you find it there. I cannot wait to see a large majority of you on that wait list. Let me help you. Like, it's time. Let's do it. Clearly Lux, go to my link in bio and click on the Get Pooping bundle and just take a look at it. You can buy them individually too, but the bundle gives you a discount. Okay. Okay, cool. Chia, another suggestion for the breakfast. And I don't know how I forgot about this one, but it's one of my favorites. Chia pudding and adds protein powder to it. I love chia pudding. Great suggestion. So many different recipes for that. So easy to make. You can make like 12 of them in literally in less than 5 minutes and just keep them in your fridge and pull them out in the morning and throw some berries on them and eat them. Like, so easy. One of the easiest go-to breakfasts to make, hands down, for women, men that need to get out the door fast in the morning. Although I do recommend you enjoy your breakfast. Little disclaimer, is chia pudding. Absolutely. Hey guys, thank you so much. If you want the lab list, once I post this, just in comments, don't DM me with it. It won't work with DMs. It has to be in a comment on any one of my posts. type the word labs and it'll send you the lab list. Okay. You'll get a DM with a link. So I hope to see you all next week. Thank you for your time. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye.